having really bloated teams. And I think this is a strategy that's not just for ecom, for anyone listening. Bloated teams no longer work. You have to figure out how to grow your business nice and lean and trim fat. That's what you need to do, because profitability on an ecom store, everyone. We are live. Welcome to the Ask Jason show. I'm joined with Megan. Megan had a very exciting weekend. I did not. But we can't tell you about her weekend. Sorry. Sorry.
Hello.
I know everyone's now teased and confused and want to know about it. Sorry, Megan. Megan agreed. Well, it was her decision to not talk about it publicly.
I mean, we can if you want. Fellow dog owners would understand.
I don't think we should.
Okay. We won't talk about it. We won't talk about my dog's issues.
Burp my face with coffee. That's my punishment. Burp my face with coffee. All right. We're off to an incredible start to the week. Happy Monday, or whenever you're listening to this. If you don't know what the Ask Jason show is, we go live every single week, every Monday on LinkedIn and Facebook, right? LinkedIn and Facebook. Mm-hmm. And if you have a question, you just put them in the comments below and we go ahead and we answer your questions. And if you have comments, just comment along as well. If you're watching this on replay, let us know you're watching on replay. If you have a question while you're watching this on a replay, just post your questions in the comment and we'll take that question for future shows. That's what Megan does. So you could either join us live and follow along and ask, or just hop in and listen whenever you're listening to this. And if you haven't already, Amazon.com, House of Bricks, my new book is out. It is a bestseller across 3 categories. Yay me. Tell that to every single one of my teachers who told me that writing isn't my thing or failed every single one of my essays. Tell them I have a best-selling book. Please pass this on. Forward this to every single one of my teachers that kicked me out of class. Here you go. I could name you all. Maybe next episode, that's what I do. I start naming a list of all the teachers that doubted me and whatever, and graded my English essays horribly, and gave me bad grades. And I'd be like, I don't think you qualify to grade me anymore. I'm a best-selling author. But yeah, honestly, go to houseofbricks.com. Please check out the book. Let me know what you think. I think it's I worked really hard on it. If you're an e-commerce store owner, you're going to want to check that out. And I already have ideas for the next book. So we are going to keep publishing books, I think, because I like it. So again, Amazon.com. But now back to the show. Megan, you are up.
All right.
We got to do some promotion, right? What's the point of doing this? I'm not going to sell anything. Right?
Take that, English teachers.
If I'm not going to sell anything, I'm just, if I'm not going to sell anything.
I thought we were going to have it on display, right?
Yeah, right.
Here's your little stand.
This could just be it. If you want to talk to the Jason on the back of the book, you could talk to the Jason on the back of the book. He'll answer all your questions too. But mostly I'm just really excited about it because, again, after it hit bestseller, I thought of every single one of my school teachers, legit.
Yeah.
And some of them may be dead, so I don't think we should. I mean, they were
Don't
old.
name them.
They were old. They were old while I was in school, so they may not be alive. So I don't think we should be gloating so much. And I won't name them because, what if their child is watching and be like, no, that's my grandma. She died 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Then I feel awful. Just if you're a kid in school and your teachers are telling you that you won't amount to anything, chances are they're right. No, I'm just kidding. Chances are it's a long race. So just play to how you want, and don't listen to what unqualified people have to say. And there's some amazing teachers, and I think the amazing ones are underpaid, and we need to pay teachers more so that we don't have the bad teachers who go in and discourage kids from chasing their dreams, like I was almost done. So so we won't name those bad teachers, but again, back to you.
Stay humble.
Let's get back to the show.
All right.
Amazon best-selling author, just clouding my brain right now.
Bestseller.
Yeah. I don't want to do anything else. I think people should just call me best-selling author from that one.
think that's what the banner.
Welcome to the Ask Jason show with
the
the best-selling author Jason Portnoy. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But no, but honestly, I think it's a good book. I'm grateful for all the people who bought in the first week of launch and to help get me into bestseller status. But yeah, like, go check it out. But or don't. Either way. Either way.
Still a bestseller. So
I'll stay humble. You're saying it, not me now. I don't have to toot the horn anymore. All right, Megan. Let's help some people instead of selling to people.
Okay. Okay. This first question is from Erica. For our Facebook ads, do we have a better chance of conversions when targeting a generally wide audience, or is it better to narrow it down? For reference, we own an online bedding store.
There's benefits. I think it depends on how long you've been in business, and I think it depends on how much data you actually have. Look, at the end of the day, I was always torn, right? You have Meta, who has machine learning, and then you could do your own targeting. So you could go broad and let Meta try to find the right type of people for you, or you could go interest targeting, which are slowly disappearing, right? We're losing less and less ability to target individuals and to do interest, but they're still there and they still work. Starting off, if I had a small budget, I would go interest based. I would try to target people who are interested in, they said, a betting company.
Yes.
Yeah, so I look at like maybe other companies, although sometimes I'm not a big fan of that, because if they generally like another page or they're a fan of another brand, it's hard to get them to change brands. Like if you sold shoes, targeting people who love Nike, it's a hard choice. If you sell like basketball shoes and they already have an affiliation, or they love Nike basketball, but I would target like different sleep options, relaxation. You could tend to go down those interests, but nothing will eventually beat in the long run broad audiences, because then you just let Facebook get to work for you and actually find, and they have more data than you possibly have in niching down your interests. And as you spend more, your copy and creative will tend to call them out. So it allows you to just put more creative in the mix and test out different angles by going broad and letting your copy and your creative really call them out. So have trouble sleeping, let's say, would only resonate with people who are scrolling. And although I may see it and I don't have trouble scrolling, I will not click on that ad. And so you'll pay for the impression, which is fine, but you're building brand awareness down the road as well. So I think it depends on your budget, but eventually, like the campaigns that we see at scale that are spending $150,000, $200,000 a month, they're mostly broad right now.
Okay. Are you done?
Oh, yeah.
Normally
you thought I was taking a pause for a coffee break? One moment. I need refueling. Almost done here. No. Well,
okay.
Was that answer not good enough, or you feel unsatisfied with that answer?
Feel like each time I think you're done, then you like say something else.
All right, Megan. I didn't. Sorry, Erica, or whoever asked that question. Megan's unsatisfied with that answer, but literally, that's what I got. That's what I got for you right now. So hopefully, it works for you. It doesn't work for Megan, but she's a tough critic this morning. So
okay. Okay. This question is from Reed. I own a service-based business, and we service up to a 30-mile radius. Do you recommend online ads or flyers, mailers for local advertising to reach our potential customers? And which do you think would be best if we're on a budget?
And A&D, and not or. Both those strategies work. So deploy both. And the part that hit at the end was they're on a budget. Look, meta ads, for example, of awareness within a 30-mile radius won't be that expensive. You could probably get by with like $10 a day on ads, right? It won't be that expensive. I would definitely do, depending on what you do for a living. Like if you're if you do lawn work, for example, you're a landscaper, then direct mailers could work. Right? I would do that. If you own a beauty salon, for example, then I would, yes, you have paid ads. Yes, you have Google ads. People are searching for beauty salons in that area. But you also have the ability to do joint ventures, which means if you do manicures and pedicures, let's say, but um, you don't cut hair, but next to you or down the block from you, there's a hair salon, but they don't do manicures and pedicures. You could do some sort of cross promotion. Hey, anyone who comes and they get a haircut from you, we'll give them 30% off. But same way, anyone who comes and they get a manicure pedicure, we'll give them 15% off or whatever the percentage is into go getting a haircut from you. And you could actually trade customers back and forth. It's joint ventures and strategic partnerships. I talk about this a lot, that it's the easiest way to build your business from zero. And it's often the most underlooked way. People don't do it. But there is somebody who has access to your ideal clients, your ideal customers, your dream customers, and don't offer what you offer. So you have to become a partner with them. How can you make it mutually beneficial? So that's the way I would do it. So yeah, they all work. And if you're on a budget, you pick the right one. I mean, you go knock on doors. You have $0. Everything I say comes back to currencies, right? Currency, time and money. Spending money on ads buys you time.
Yeah.
Knocking on doors buys you money, right? Like there's a pro and con to each one. So I mean, I would do direct mailers. I would run at least one ad around the area. I would do Google ads for local markets, and if someone's searching you, you want to make sure you pop up. And yeah, then I would find strategic partnerships, go into the bakery next door to you, and figure out how to make an offer.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Great answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're just improving. How many more of these do we got? Because it looks like I'm only going uphill right now.
Just a couple.
No pressure.
So,
yeah.
Okay. What strategy is no longer effective when it comes to online advertising for e-commerce stores? And this is from Christina.
Actually, I have to think for a second. Having really bloated teams. And I think this is a strategy that's not just for e-com, for anyone listening. Bloated teams no longer work. You have to figure out how to grow your business nice and lean and trim fat. That's what you need to do, because profitability on an e-com store, everyone likes to blame the advertiser for profitability. And we see this. I mean, we get approached all the time with people who are like, hey, instead of us paying you, why don't we give you a percentage of the profit? And I said, because I don't control your profitability. You're a business owner. You want to go take out a $400,000 salary when you only made $405,000, right? Kind of hurts profitability. So I think there's so many things in your control for profitability, and I think a lot of it where it gets bloated is the operating expenses. Too many people, too many chefs in the kitchen, and it's funny because I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to explain it. The number one thing people cut is their agency. That's the first thing people cut. However, what people don't realize with an agency is they're like, oh, I'm cutting that one person. You're cutting a team. So when you look at it from really like a logical side, like let's break it down. I deal with 5 people at JPORT Media. Let's use our agency, for example. I deal with 5 people and I'm paying, I'll make a random number up, $5,000 a month. Let's use that. Technically, I'm paying $1,000 a month per person that I talk to. I'm getting a team of 5 for $5,000 for $1,000 a month. And then you're going to pay your e-com director who's not qualified to do their job $150,000, and you're going to pay another person $100,000, and then you're going to hire this consultant to come in for $150,000, and you're going to do all these different things, and then you're like, well, I'm just going to slash my biggest expense, which is the agency. But it's not because you get a team in there. There's no one person. So Sometimes it makes sense to fire the agency. Sometimes it makes sense to do all that. I'm not saying no one should ever fire their agency, but from a money standpoint, I think most CFOs come in and when they have to look at cutting expenses, they're like, well, I don't want to cut my expense, right? I'm a CFO making $150,000 a year or 200. I don't want to cut my expense. So who can I cut and who can I show that we're saving money? Oh, the agency. But then they have no one else to run the ads, and then everything falls apart anyways. So I would look at your team, and I had a mentor a long time ago that told me that every quarter fire your entire team mentally. Sorry, I missed that part. Mentally fire your entire team and then rehire them in your head. And if you can't justify rehiring them, they should actually be fired. So imagine you were starting back up from zero. Well, who would you need from this team? Or to go forward, who really on this team can help get you to the next level? And then everyone else has to earn their way in every single quarter. That's the reality of work. So e-com strategy, people just hired, went to go get outside funding, started building up big teams, started doing a bunch of stuff, and they lost their bootstrap ability, and they lost their, roll up their sleeves, put on their boots, and get to work and try to grow their business. And I think that's gone. And I think gone are the days of but this isn't a new strategy that's gone. Gone are the days of I'm just going to spend $200,000 a month on Meta and my business is going to perform. And I'll give you one more for a bonus that I think is also very controversial, is that everyone says diversify your spend. Oh, don't put it all on one platform. You should be on different platforms. That's true and not true, right? If you're spending like $250,000 a month on Meta ads and like you want to scale a little bit more and you feel like you're squeezing all the juice out, then yeah, try a different platform. But if you're just getting started and you only have a $15,000 budget for ads, you're diversifying that 15,000 so thin across so many different platforms that it won't work. And still to this day, I don't know when you're watching this, but this is Monday, April 8th at 10:24 a.m. April 8th, 2024 at 10:24 a.m. 10:24 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Megan's looking confused. She's looking at her clock. She's like, what happened? Jason's off. Eastern time. Then I will tell you at this moment, there is still no advertising platform better than Meta. Zero. Nothing comes close to it right now. I don't care TikTok. I don't care anything. There is nothing that comes close from a direct-to-consumer e-commerce space right now than Meta ads. So when people talk about diversifying, I don't want to be on here. You could easily grow your business to 7 figures alone on Meta. 7 figures plus on Meta without trying another platform, without going to TikTok, without trying different strategies on Pinterest or Snap or anything like that. You could grow your business on Meta alone to 7 figures plus. And I firmly believe that. So I think a strategy that we're taught a lot is diversify your ad spend. And while I agree to an extent, because I also believe in the rule of one, that anytime you're reliant on just one thing, you're putting your business at risk. But as you're growing, you don't have a rule of one. Like you don't have a business. But if you're doing like $28 million a year and you're only making money on Meta, and you haven't figured out how to handle retention marketing, you haven't tried email, you haven't tried other platforms, then yeah, you're putting yourself at risk. But yeah, I think those are a couple of strategies that I think are a little bit outdated.
Okay. My question of the week.
Oh boy.
What was your favorite part of writing your new book, and what was your least favorite part?
Sorry, can you repeat that question, but use best-selling book in your question, please?
I'm about to say that.
Thanks.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of writing your new best-selling book, and what was your least favorite part?
What a ring to that. Well, the hardest part of writing my best-selling book, Megan. So the hardest part and the easiest part you asked? I saw I lost you at best-selling book.
Yeah.
You could ask your question again.
You could go that route, or mine was.
You could ask your own question, Jason, or you could go the route that I have the question. Whatever you want. You're the best-selling author. You do what you want. No, we're gonna answer your question, Megan. What is your question?
Was what was your favorite part?
Okay.
And what was your least favorite part?
My favorite part was actually finishing it. Okay. actually getting it done and watching it come out, and honestly getting like an actual copy of it, like that was like it's a cool feeling, right? Like let's put away all like emotion and pretend that you're supposed to be like this author. It's really cool when you work hard on something and then you actually see it come to fruition and you actually get a copy of it and you actually hold it and you open it up and you have like a pack of like 10 samples that you're looking at and look at it. Same feeling I got when I made a t-shirt, right? When I had my clothing brand and I actually saw it come to life. It's an idea and you create it and build it and actually have it come to life. In our line of work right now, from the agency side and from the coaching side, I don't really get to see that so much. I hear from clients back, "Oh, thank you for helping me," or you know, "You helped me with this. I'm so appreciative." But I don't get that like it's a great feeling, but there's nothing like physical or tangible that I get to hold and be like, "Man, this was this like a culmination of my work. Like here it is, and I'm holding it." So I think my favorite part was actually, you know, getting that feeling and just being like, "This is cool," right? Like whether no one buys this or one person buys it or I just have it for myself and we just send it to clients. Man, this is like I have a book. Like it's just it's a cool thing. So that's probably my favorite part. My least favorite part was actually writing the book. Um, e-com is a daunting topic that has so many different rabbit holes you could go down. Literally, each chapter in this book could be its own book. Right? How do you write a chapter? Right? How do you write a chapter on paid ads? Right? Every question you ask me about paid ads is a 10-minute answer. So how do we write a chapter? How do you like write a chapter, like a paragraph on TikTok, right? Like, and keep it to a paragraph. How do you take, you know, 20 years of building e-commerce or 15 years of building e-commerce businesses and whatnot, and distill it down to like less than 100 pages? That is hard. And I have a mentor who's an incredible copywriter, incredible copywriter, who sits there and says that, you know, make things concise, make things short, get to the point. It's a very hard skill to do. I'm a rambler. I'm a rambler, and I know it. And I like to beat a dead horse sometimes, and I like to say it, but then like you're going through it and you're like, I gotta trim out a ton of fat. But I think everything in here is important, and everything that I took out is potentially important too. So that was the least favorite part, is actually taking in and going through the editing process and then creating the outline and mapping it out. If I actually enjoyed that part and did it properly, I probably would have released this book 3 months ago. It would have taken me probably 2 less months to write the book, but I delayed certain parts of it. But I dealt with an incredible publishing company who supported me through this and helped me through it. And when I was getting stuck, or I was just like, I have nothing to write, I just don't know where to start, they would jump on calls with me and help get me prompted and get me back to thinking, because they've done this. They've dealt with so many people, like so many entrepreneurs who wrote their book and have so much in their head and don't know how to put it out on paper. But I recommend every entrepreneur, whether you publish the book or not, write something around the topic that you know the most about. Like this wouldn't be my first choice book to write. Like I want to help businesses, right? So this was e-commerce related. Why? Because it's just 10 years of being in the space. I know that space really well, and I wanted to get it out. That's my first one. I think my next one going to change even more lives, and then the third one's probably just going to be like anyone who's interested in knowing from my mistakes and my life. That's what it'll be, my story, my story type book. But yeah, my favorite part and least favorite part for sure.
Take that, teachers. 3 books. There's going to be 3.
Whoa! I gotta write 3 first, Megan. Whoa, you're committed. I haven't.
You announced it. That was your announcement. Yeah. 3 books.
Maybe more. Hey,
yeah, I'd like maybe more.
My goal is, so if I'm gonna be really honest and share with everyone, my goal is to write 2 books a year.
Nice.
Yeah. So in the next 5 years, have like 10 plus books.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you just recorded it, so.
Well,
you gotta hold yourself to it.
If you have an idea of what I should write about for those 10 books, let me know, because I don't have 10 ideas. But yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you for paying attention. If you have any questions or you want to figure out how to work with us, head on over to jportnoy.com. If you want a copy of my best-selling book, House of Bricks, Crafting an Unbreakable E-commerce Empire, then head on over to amazon.com, amazon.ca, Amazon, wherever. You know what's funny? People got the link to amazon.com and they live in Canada or they live in Europe and they're like, it doesn't work. Because you're on amazon.com. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes I find it funny that I have to tell people that, like, hey, use common sense. Go
But
to
it
your
has to be their
so go to
country.
your Amazon, wherever
Yeah.
you are, amazon.ca, Amazon. Whatever it is for you, and type in Jason Portnoy, House of Bricks. You'll find me. There was another Jason Portnoy there who wrote a book. That is not me. It's like called like Confessions of a Porn Addict or something like that. That is not me. That is not me.
Wait, what?
Although that guy, funny story, and we'll end with this. That guy is actually a billionaire. He was one of the founders of PayPal. And for
Oh,
the longest time, I couldn't get my name, jasonportnoy.com. That's why it's jportnoy.com. And there was nothing on that page. It was always empty. It was always parked. I'd put in offers to buy it. Obviously, a billionaire doesn't need my $2,000 offers, right? So it kept getting rejected. And then he writes a book. jasonportnoy.com goes live. This guy shows up on the Tim Ferriss show podcast, one of the number one podcasts on Spotify, right? Shows up there, does an interview, talks about his porn addiction, talks about things like that. My social media blows up because this guy does not have the Jason Portnoy handle. I have the Jason Portnoy handle. So he has the website. I have the handle. We could probably
oh my
make a little
gosh.
trade somewhere in here, right? I have the handle. He has the domain. So everyone's coming over to Jason Portnoy on Instagram. People I know in the space, other marketers who are on stage messaging me saying, I knew you were a big deal, but I didn't know you were that big of a deal. Congrats, mate. I'm like, does that look like me? You've seen me. You've seen me. That doesn't even look like me or sound like me. And yes, do you think I'm showing up to these like 5-person events when I'm a billionaire like this guy? Like, come on, use come. But like messages of people saying you changed my life. How do I get you to help me? And for the longest time, I was like, well, you come to my Amplify coaching mastermind, but I never did that because that would just be unethical and wrong. But people thanking me for changing their lives, I'm like, you're welcome. Don't know what I did, but you're welcome. On behalf of the Jason Portnoys around the world, you are welcome. So yeah, you want to buy his book, go buy his book too. But it's not me. This is my book. And I don't think he's a bestseller. And I think I am. So take that, other Jason Portnoy.
PayPal?
I think he was like
There's another Jason Portnoy who's an author. And he has some sort of connection to PayPal?
Yeah, he was like part of
this?
He's an ex-PayPal employee. And he wrote a book called Silicon Valley Porn Star. But he was like one of the first employees.
A memoir of redemption and rediscovering the self.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys need to talk. You have the same name and you're both authors.
Only one of us is a best-selling author, though.
Yeah. Big difference.
Sorry. Actually, before I say that, let's actually find out. If you're still listening to this podcast, I'm sorry. Just want to say that. But
the same name.
Technically, it ended, and you're just listening to Megan and I ramble. So he is not a best-selling author, but he ranks number 282 in sexual health recovery. So sorry, that Jason Portnoy. But
my God. Okay. Looking at the website. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed that episode, and thank you. You're welcome for that free SEO traffic, Jason Portnoy. We should do a podcast, Jason Portnoy and Jason Portnoy.
I know.
Reach out. Yeah, all right, Megan. Let's reach out to Jason Portnoy. Let's settle it.
This is crazy.
Who is the
Okay.
more successful? Now I'll lose that one.
Yeah.
Right. Who's the better author? We should have that
Yeah, there we
competition.
go.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, everyone. Head on over to jportnoy.com or leave your question in the comments. But as always, thank you for listening, and thank you, Megan.
All right. Bye.